Alright guys, welcome back to the channel where today we're talking more on WWE 2K25 as we have a teaser from the developers regarding a challenging new match type. We have the first official teasers for this year's cover stars, and we also have some big new claims that suggest we could be set to see NBA's popular City feature coming to WWE. Before we get into any of that though, if you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all the latest wrestling game news, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss out on future videos. So let's talk WWE 2K25. As while we all await the game's big reveal on January 28th, a new video from YouTuber HipHopGamer has been doing the rounds on Twitter, as the video includes a clip from an interview with WWE Games associate gameplay producer Bryan Williams, who teases the addition of a potential new match type for 2K25. This clip is taken from an interview that was conducted last year during the promotion for WWE 2K24, as HipHopGamer asked Bryan Williams if there was anything that didn't make the cut for 2K24, which is now being considered for 2K25. In response, Bryan noted that at the time of the interview, he was actually due to have a meeting later that day about something that didn't make it into the game, and while he had to keep it close to his chest, he could say that it was match related. In the clip, Bryan goes on to state the following: "It's something that I'm a strong proponent of, and I'm doing my best to try and get it in. It'll be a first for the franchise, and probably one of the most unique match types from a visual standpoint. But it requires a lot of heavy lifting and rethinking about how we do certain things because we've never done them before. But at the same time, you've seen what we did with 2K23 with the introduction of the War Games match and how well that came together, so I think this team can do anything, and I'm really hopeful that we'll be able to pull this off." These comments from Bryan mirror what was said in an interview with Video Games Chronicle, where it was mentioned that an additional match type was also proposed for 2K24 before the developers ultimately settled on the casket match, the ambulance match, and the gauntlet match. Originally, the speculation was that the additional match type may have been the I Quit match, though hearing Bryan's comments from this interview, where he notes that it'll be a first for the franchise, and probably one of the most unique match types from a visual standpoint, that appears to debunk this theory, as the I Quit match wouldn't be a franchise first, as it previously appeared in several games, with its last appearance coming in the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions of 2K17. In terms of WWE matches, knowing that the match is a franchise first, there's only a handful of match types that it could actually be. One of those is NXT's Iron Survivor match, which is a match type featuring a 25-minute time limit and consisting of 5 superstars, 2 of which start the match with another superstar entering every 5 minutes. Similar to an Iron Man match, points are scored by making pinfalls or submissions, with the winner being the superstar to earn the most points within the time limit. However, it comes with the added stipulation that superstars who are pinned or submitted have to enter a penalty box for 90 seconds. Given the rules of the match, this match type would indeed be a challenge for the developers to code, though given that a lot of it is similar to the way War Games competitors enter the match, Bryan's reference of how the team were able to pull off War Games in 2K22 may be a small hint. Alternately, the second match type that comes to mind is the strap match, which was a focal point in the heated rivalry between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Given Bryan's comments, this match type would definitely fit with what he described, as not only would this be a first for the franchise, but it would also tick the box of being one of the most unique match types from a visual standpoint and require a lot of heavy lifting and rethinking about how they do certain things to accommodate the strap, as having both players attached at the wrist would need a lot of gameplay elements to be reworked, as you couldn't exit the ring and climb the turnbuckle as the strap would get stuck between the ropes. While the strap match definitely fits with Bryan's tease, Punk and McIntyre didn't have their match until August, so given that the interview took place in February during the promotion for 2K24, Bryan wouldn't have been speaking about this match specifically, though he may have been speaking of a different variant of the match, as the beginning of February seen Cody Rhodes defend the WWE Championship in a bull rope match, which essentially is the same idea, with both stars strapped together at the wrist. Considering the timing of that match and this interview, there's a good chance that this may be the match type that Bryan was alluding to, though I wouldn't rule out the Iron Survivor match, as that's now become a yearly tradition in NXT, so it would make a lot of sense that the developers would also look to add that as a playable option. As for any other possibilities, the only other match type that comes to mind is the NXT Fight Pit, as this would fit with the visual tease and also the comment about reworking certain things, as the Fight Pit doesn't include any ropes, so you would have to rework the whole cage element and then code the platform on top. So there's 3 possibilities on the new match type. Let me know which you think it could be in the comments. Aside from the clip of Bryan Williams teasing the new match type, HipHopGamer's video also went viral for another reason, as he claims to have found out new details about WWE 2K25, citing wrestlers that he knows and what he learned from attending last week's CES show in Las Vegas. The biggest claim coming out of the video is that it's claimed WWE 2K25 is set to introduce a new city mode similar to the popular city seen in the NBA 2K series. In NBA, the city is a large open world area where players can freely walk around and explore the city, train and buy items from shops, and interact with other players and challenge them to matches. The addition of the city in a WWE game could prove to be a major new feature and even tie into the game-changing features that are teased on the 2K website, though it's unclear how well this would transition to a WWE theme, as a WWE game would be a lot more suited to an interactive arena rather than a city, as you could have players explore the arena to visit the shop stand, start a brawl backstage, or all kinds of different mini-games set in different parts of the arena. A great example of this would be the season mode that we've seen in SmackDown Just Bring It, but on a whole other level, as that game allowed you to freely explore the arena and meet up with various NPCs backstage so that you could begin storylines and set up matches, and having something like this on a greater scale could prove to be a really popular feature if it's done right. While the prospect of the city coming to WWE 2K may sound promising, the proposed leak has been met with a firm backlash from the community given the current state of 2K24, as many players have pointed out the ongoing problems with the current modes and the lack of improvements, as it's felt that the focus should be on improving the game's current features rather than bringing over new features from NBA. Alongside the city feature, HipHopGamer also claimed to have knowledge that 2K25 will feature a Bloodline showcase, which he claims will be very different from other showcase modes, while the other leak, rumour, or whatever you want to call it, is that the game is poised to do away with gender restrictions, leading to the return of intergender matches for the first time since the SmackDown vs Raw games. While this may all sound like wishful thinking, HipHopGamer does have some credibility to his name, as he is followed by various parties at 2K, and as we've seen with the Bryan Williams interview, he is someone who has access to developers and may be privy to what's being worked on, though as of right now, I do want to make a point of saying that none of this has been confirmed by 2K, so don't get too excited just yet, as we'll have to wait until January 28th to see if there's any truth to these claims. Speaking of the reveal, the WWE game's social accounts have begun teasing the official reveal of this year's cover stars, as the WWE game's social account shared this video which shows various stars guessing who they think will be on the cover. In fitting with the leak that appeared on Steam last week, Roman Reigns is the most guessed male superstar, while Liv Morgan picked up the most votes on the women's side, which could hint at her appearing on this year's deluxe edition. Should the video be an indication of things to come, then there's a good chance that we may see the cover stars announced on the January 27th episode of Raw, as this was the date that Roman gave Paul Heyman during the 2K25 teaser, with this date then set to lead into the full reveal on January 28th. So that's the latest news roundup for WWE 2K25. Let me know your thoughts on everything discussed in the comments, and if you're looking for something to tide you over, you can check out the latest roundup of updated superstars, which I'll link on screen. Until next time though, thank you so much for watching this video, have yourself an awesome day, and I'll catch you later.